Hi, I entitled this video Self-Worth to try to see if there is such a thing, because I tend to think very negatively about that idea that we are worth something. Usually we're judged by our production and our usefulness, so we may not be worth very much in that sense because we are easily replaceable. So, looking a bit deeper and trying to find that maybe there is something to be worthy for, or there is some sense of worth that we can find outside of production and usefulness. Um, we find maybe positive language that maybe our presence is admired. We can produce. Well, this comes back to usefulness though, and production. So I don't know. Um, but maybe there's the thought that we aren't easily replaced in many ways, that we are unique, that we have something to give that is uniquely us. But then I can see that if I'm thinking negatively, I can see that as a mistake, our individuality as mostly a mistake, because had we solved every problem, we would be the same person. So I still think negatively about self-worth. I think usually that I'm worthless and this life is meaningless, and I feel that a lot. There's not much, I think, that can be said to counter that, because all of the positive things that people mention are kind of mistaken, I think. These senses of individuality and self worth, when only the problems need to be solved, and the problems have already been solved. So it does seem to make our lives meaningless. I mean, we can have meaning in the sense that we can solve the problems as well, the same problems, but our individuality doesn't really matter, I think, because ultimately we're just solving the same problems that have already been solved. We're answering the same questions that have already been answered. So I still maintain that we don't have self worth in any real sense. If we have solved the most problems, then maybe we are worth something to someone who has solved less problems. But if someone had solved more problems than us, we aren't worth anything because we had solved less problems. So this still maintains the idea that according to our usefulness is our value. So I still don't think that we are worth anything. I mean, since we haven't solved every problem ourselves, but we know someone or others have solved those same problems, so we aren't worth anything in that regard. That's unfortunate. I mean, if you do think that I'm worth something, then it isn't anything that hasn't been solved before, or all the questions that I might have answers to probably have been asked before and have been answered before. So, in that sense, I do think that my life is useless. Anyway, thanks for listening.